Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Black Friday to you. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Did you feast on all of the yummy food yesterday and having leftovers today? Well, we are feasting on the tea being provided by Bachelorette Jenn Tran. She shares new information about how she knew Devin was cheating on her based on DMs that came into her. This is actually information she's never shared before. There's been something speculated upon, but in a new podcast interview, she just goes scorched earth. We love to see it. And she's happy, she's thriving. What better time to give gratitude for the life you have now and the cautionary tale you had just a few months ago. So we're going to get into this. It's probably our only video of the day. I did a little Black Friday shopping myself. I don't think I've ever done Black Friday shopping. I went to an Old Navy. Bad idea. There was like 12 teens in pajamas working there. They all had antlers on, and everything's 50% off, but they jacked the price up 200%. So is it really a deal? I mean, no one's losing money. There's no such thing as a free lunch, folks. Whatever you buy today, it's probably worse quality. And anyway, I'm digressing here. Capitalism, they get you. So anyway, I left the crazy lines to get into the crazy tea that we have here. Now, you guys know this about me. I like to judge very closely the podcasts that we cover. There's like the Kristen Cavallari one. She has terrible audio. It's always echoey. I got to tell you this right now. Michelle Phan puts together one hell of a podcast. It's in 4K. The audio's great. The video, the lighting. She's there's no surprise she's got 8+ million subscribers. She knows what she's doing. Let's go to a clip of this very nice long conversation. I'm only going to be playing a little bit of it here, where Jen reveals the truth behind why the relationship ended and the, cheating that went on. The question is, was it emotional or physical?
That is true. Which is like a weird thing, but also like in terms of a true partner, I definitely have a different list now. Like I'm looking for someone who's very open and someone who is going to be there for me in the toughest of times. That's like such a huge trait to have for me, and someone who's like flexible in terms of timing and ideas. Like I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm always like all over the place, and I need someone.
Wait, got the astrology. I'm a Sagittarius. I need him to be flexible. And yes, okay. Well, how's this for flexible? How about a dancer? A professional dancer, Sasha Farber, posted this a few days ago. Can't believe it's the finale of Dancing with the Stars. I didn't win the mirror ball, but I still feel like I won. And people are going like, is that like the closest they're going to get to hard launching? Now, of course, he used to be married to a pro dancer, and now, look, everyone's happy for them. This could be a great pairing, as it were. And now Devin made fun of Sasha for having a quote-unquote girl's name. And of course, Devin is a unisex name, whatever you want to call it. Which, by the way, who cares? Name your girls after boys and your boys after girls. Who cares?
Who's as equally open-minded to all of my crazy ideas, because I feel like I have partners in the past that aren't.
Yeah, they're a bit rigid, huh?
Yeah, and that to me doesn't work
for you.
Yeah, doesn't work long-term for me. So things like that.
So listing all these traits, I'm curious, why Devin? By the way, can't stand the guy. F that guy. Honestly, but
totally.
Michelle leads the witness. Can't stand the guy. F that guy. Yeah, he's not into He doesn't get the. He's too rigid for this Sagittarius.
So what was funny was Devin on the show was, I guess, like acting the whole time, and he was very flexible with me and was very much like, I will move anywhere with you. I will do anything you want, essentially, and was like, I support you in your career path.
He's like, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
And all this stuff. And like, he was promising me a lot of things that, people didn't really see on camera. But like in the fantasy suites, we talked so much about our future together and where we'd raise kids and like what that was going to look like and all that stuff. And so for me, that was like a winner because I wanted someone who had
you heard all the words you wanted to hear,
all
basically.
the words I wanted to hear.
And it's crazy how he kind of knew what to say.
Yeah. And we had a lot of conversations too surrounding like my family and what it meant to be bicultural. And he was like so open to like being a part of a family who, you know, he understood that, you know, my mom might not always be able to express herself to him. And he's like, oh, well, I grew up like speaking Spanish, not speaking Spanish, but like with his dad was was Mexican. So he's like, I totally understand that. So like that was so riveting to me, and that was so attractive to me that he understood that part.
Okay, I'm not defending Devin. Now, hold on, because I don't want to get it. Oh, Dave, you're this or that. It could be that Devin wanted to be more flexible. And while, I mean, you ever have this happen? You're on vacation and you're like, oh, life's great. Life's amazing. The Bachelorette is vacation. Then you got to go back to real life. He's got a job. You got to go back to your things. Now, that's not, whether or not you could balance, this happens all the time where I feel like with Riley, if you remember Riley and Marissa, they didn't work out. This is a few-year-old reference, but they found love on Paradise, and then they went back to New York City, and Riley's like, I'm going to the gym, and Marissa's like, I don't have friends. And then all of a sudden the relationship didn't work out because you have to then negotiate how you live life now that you've got a partner to worry about. And he's got a full-time job. And again, I'm not saying that that's an excuse for failed promises. It seems as though the cheating part is way worse. But every couple has this happen where you get off the show and you go, all right, like take Blake, Moynes, and Katie. Blake's like, I got to go. I agreed to go to Africa. I got things I'm doing, And it's like, well, you're allowed to do that. It's just the relationship might suffer.
Part of me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, those were all just words.
It was all fake. That's the crazy thing is.
Yeah. Well, I guess I never really spoke about this before, but after the show had ended, the finale, the way it ended, I got a lot more answers off of the show because I had a lot of his ex-girlfriends DMing me and people DMing me telling me that he had been talking to them while we were engaged, essentially.
Stop.
So I think I got answers in the fact that he had been cheating on me the whole time and that it was really all a game show to him. But that kind of gave me peace, though, to know that.
Okay, so if I were asking the questions, which I'm not, much respect to Michelle, and by the way, if you guys are like, Dave, quit interrupting. I told you where to go watch this. You don't need to watch my version if you don't like my spry commentary. But my question would be, what type of cheating are you accusing him of? Did you see the screen grabs from the women that said he actually met up with them? I think both would be worth breaking the relationship off over, but there is the gray area where you go, okay, was he flirty or was he just responding? There could have been a bunch of people DMing him and he just responded, thanks for the support. I'm assuming that's not what it is, but I truthfully don't know.
It wasn't me and it wasn't anything that I did, and I'm not, like, I am worthy of love, but he was just putting on a show and it wasn't what he wanted. So I have a lot more peace knowing that if I find the right partner who wants all the same things that I want, then
Sasha,
it'll come for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess the silver lining is now you really know what you want in a life partner through that experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I learned so much on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm in a way like grateful for it. For sure.
No, that's good. And I love that you're moving forward with positivity.
And no better way to move forward than be on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, she was literally able to immediately deal with the fallout of a failed bachelorette relationship. Welcome to the club. You have got more people in that club than not. 90+% of the relationships fail. But they don't always fail that quickly. But again, rip the Band-Aid off and immediately, like, she's lucky it failed as quickly as it did. That failure essentially got her on Dancing with the Stars. She was cast literally the night of the after the final rose. Don't blame my summary of it, on anything other than that's what happened. She found out after the final rose, hop on a plane, you're going to Good Morning America. She hadn't even taken a press photo. They had to use like a stock photo of her, and then she was on the show. So for her, it was great to immediately move on. Now that she's off the show, is probably the first time she'll have a breath to have that retrospection.
Yeah.
So because you experienced that, would you say you're pretty good at picking up red flags now when it comes to someone that would love bomb or say all the right things?
Hope so. I would hope so.
How would you now navigate through that? What are some things? Because there's something in your brain that probably popped up. It's like, okay, I'm not falling for this again. I need to have some sort of contingency plan or some sort of test.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
something, right?
I mean, I think I'm a little bit like traumatized after, for sure. Because when someone promises you the world and then they don't give it to you one day and wake up and act like you're a stranger, it takes a toll on you.
That's trauma.
So look, I believe multiple things. I believe she's telling the truth about Devin. And I also believe she probably had a same experience or a similar experience to Rachel Recchia, which was that the pressure of being on the show caused her to be in high need. I'm not calling her needy. I'm saying she was in high need of a partner to help her with that. That's just my guess. Again, not a psychologist, just giving my armchair thought where I go, with Rachel Recchia, there was a lot of stress and anxiety you could tell that she had, even though she got a good edit. And that toll was, placed on Tino to kind of be there for her, and it didn't work out. And sometimes what happens is when you're under high stress and high pressure, you'll almost like lash out at your partner. Again, I'm not saying this happened. We have no idea what happened. But I do believe the relationship wasn't the right one. And therefore, when it's not the right one, things end quicker. There was zero foundation, so it would crumble a lot faster. Do I think Devin's a horrible guy? Well, in some ways, yes. But I also do believe everyone's trying their best. And you might say, Dave, how the hell could he be trying his best? He's a monster. Well, even monsters sometimes are trying their best. They're just so flawed in their own way. It doesn't mean that she should put up with him. Good for her for getting out of that. The restraining order situation with Devin is a monstrous situation. I mean, we covered that. That was jaw-dropping, scary, monstrous situation. Now, as far as his love bombing and this and that all can be true, and it probably is. The question becomes, do people want to look into why he did that, or do they just want to say he's a terrible guy? If you're Jenn Tran, you're not his mom. You don't need to fix him. And it doesn't look like he has any, and by the way, this is the most dangerous aspect of humanity. It doesn't look from the outside like Devin cares to fix his issues. It seems as though he's fine playing the villain. That's the scariest place to be, because you're just going to keep on being the same piece of shit kind of guy. So would I put stock, if I could invest in some of these characters, would I put stock in Devin getting a redemption arc? Never. No, not in our lifetime. Maybe he'll get it privately, but he is one of the biggest villains to ever go on the show as far as things stand now.
So I'm now not as trusting of people, for sure, and I think that I'm looking out for their actions more than their words. And I think naturally the only thing that can help with those trust issues is time. Like how long you know a person for and how consistent they are with you. So it's all about timing for me.
And we'll see how that timing goes with Sasha. So you can go check out this full podcast. Michelle Fan, 8+ million subscribers. I mean, she's absolutely crushing it. Now, here's my advice, unsolicited, that I'm going to give to Jen, and it's the advice I'd give to anybody out there. And I'm not saying she did anything wrong, but if she's with Sasha, if she's dating new guys, whatever she's doing, ladies, whatever the hell she wants to do, I would say this: make the relationship dessert, not the main course. I think the biggest issue that a lot of alumni have on this show is they're in their 20s, they don't know what they want out of life, and a lot of times they'll lean on their partner for that dopamine and lean on their partner for that attention. And you really need to have your own social circle. You really need to have your own path, your own, identity. What are you doing? So when you get this newfound fame, this newfound influencership and everything else, it's all uncharted territory, and there's a lot of pressure on you. What is it going to be? Some people effortlessly find their niche and go in that direction, and some people take a long time. I wish her the best, and I hope she finds it. And, you can be rudderless for a long time, but it'll be a lot easier if she goes, all right, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I mean, it looks like she's going to be on the tour for Dancing with the Stars. That's fantastic. Is she going to stay in LA and live with Sasha? Are they dating? All these questions we don't have answers to. I think it's great that they're not coming out and sharing that publicly. It might sound lame to the audience, but for Jen to be able to have something for her, especially after such a public breakup, Devin exposing her DMs and everything was so public, of course, with the way the show works, have something for you. You signed a contract to be the Bachelorette, and you fulfilled that contract, now you can have a private relationship. You don't owe that to anybody, and hopefully that helps kind of them live more of a normal life. We'll see. Wishing her the best. I love this storyline, and I would love to see her and Sasha find love. And if it's not with him, hey, who knows? Maybe she'll be back on Paradise. We'll have to see how that all goes. That's going to be it for me. I've got a podcast coming out next, The Rush Hour with Dave Neal. And by the way, I covered this story, and I covered the Kelly Flanagan cheating story. It's insane. It's pretty wild. I covered that on yesterday's Rush Hour podcast. That's a special, nearly hour-long Thanksgiving episode. So if you want all of that extra tea, go to the Rush Hour with Dave Neal. That's where you can get it. I just can't possibly get it all here on YouTube. There's just too much. It's like drinking out of like drinking water out of a fire hose. I just can't get it all. So if you want all that additional stuff, the Rush Hour with Dave Neal. All right, go get your savings on. I'll see you at Old Navy. Bye.